Bickley and Marte mornings. Arizona sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
Miracles happen in sports. They don't happen often. You rarely see them coming, and they certainly can't be predicted. That's why they're called miracles. So, what to make of these Diamondbacks? A team stripped down of talent and expectations, and yet a team that just pulled off an exhilarating comeback in Texas. This was a team that was comatose while losing their first game after the trade deadline, but ever since they've been a different group, winning 8 of their past 11 games, and all of those 3 losses could have, should have been victories. And in the last 2 days in Texas, Ketel Marte has reappeared as a dynamic force capable of playing at an MVP level, delivering late game heroics. So, can they really pull this off? Can they really make a run at a wild card playoff berth? Probably not. But I give this team and this manager a lot of credit for making things interesting, for not succumbing to self-pity or the expectations of others, for making things interesting when they could be busy playing zombie baseball. And for all of those who are still rolling their eyes, you might be right. But if you cannot dream or imagine or hope because you're so entrenched in your position, then you are missing the best part of being a sports fan. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW, who make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
Great. You know, it's an unbelievable win. I love these boys. They fight. They go out there every single day to win a baseball game. Things always have not gone our way, but we are continuing to play hard, and when you have good moments like that and they celebrate and enjoy it, I'm like a proud dad. It was a great moment for this team.
Torey Lovullo, after yesterday's game, speaking with Jody Jackson on the D-backs TV broadcast, they get the win against the Rangers, second straight day in dramatic fashion thanks to Ketel Marte. Great catch in the 9th inning from Jake McCarthy for the final out. This team's got a little different juice, and I think it's interesting kind of hearing the blast and what we've been feeling and thinking and kind of holding that up against our conversation with Derek Hall. I would say Derek's attitude on this is tempered right now.
You know how he is. When things are going really, really well, he's very, very careful not to dive too deep into the pool. Again, baseball folk are very, very superstitious. And it goes with the territory. A couple of things, though. I had mentioned earlier in listening to the radio feed while watching the game, Chris Garagiola, he literally painted the picture of the 9th inning and said, we got Alec Thomas and Jake McCarthy and James McCann coming up, and we really got to get Alec or Jake on base. And the thinking was you get your speed guys on base, maybe you can mount a rally. And for both those guys to go down as quickly as they did, and then to rally from that, you got to fight for the right to Marte.
Print the shirts.
Print the shirts. You've got to fight for the right to Marte. And that's what the Diamondbacks did yesterday. One of the things that Derek Hall said that I'm truly vibing on is this idea that Torey Lovullo is a much more successful manager when dealing with the younger team. And I think there's probably a lot of truth to that because Torey is very emotional. He's very open. He's very new age. Fatherly maybe, very free love. And there's probably a lot of veteran guys who are like, get out of here with this. Now, and I'm not saying anybody in specific, but it just, how human nature is, right? But you get a young group of young players who are like seeing an opportunity that they wouldn't have had there not been a trade deadline. And they're getting exposure to Torey Lovullo. I don't think it's an accident.
No, I mean, it's an interesting point I hadn't really thought of. But, I mean, if you are a younger player, Blaze Alexander, Tyler Locklear getting extended opportunity now. Look, a lot of the pressure was taken off those guys, obviously. The games, there wasn't a waving of the white flag, but when you are sellers at the deadline, a lot of the pressure around a clubhouse disappears. Yeah, it sucks that some of your teammates are gone. But you also have to have that wiggle room, and Derek Hall said as much, too. You're going to make a lot of mistakes, and there has been mistakes. It hasn't been picture-perfect baseball that they're playing, but it's just lively baseball, which is not what we were seeing before that. One other note on Ketel Marte's last 2 home runs to win these last 2 games in the 9th inning. He hit the home run on Tuesday against Colum first home run he had given up all year.
Wow.
Yesterday, he hits the home run on Maton, second home run he had given up all year. These guys weren't dialing up long balls willy-nilly.
And again, that's for the people, the cynics and the jaded people who are rolling their eyes because the Diamondbacks don't have this, that, or the third. I recognize all that. I was the exact same guy 2 weeks ago, saying even if you buy this dream, there's no way this bullpen can make it happen. And yet the last two nights, for contrast, let me tell you something that'll blow your mind. For contrast, headline in the Los Angeles Times today: Dodgers' failure to improve their bullpen spurred free fall with no end in sight. The lead of the story: in the year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. The Dodgers have dropped out of first place. The team that was expected to win 120 games, and they go on and on and on. So my point is that sometimes stuff happens in sports. Crazy stuff happens. And I'm just vibing on the fact that this team is actually trying very hard.
Yeah, well, here's the bottom line of all of it. With the way the playoffs are set up, with the number of teams that make the postseason, as long as Major League Baseball is going to have this system in place, it's going to be a yearly occurrence that at least one, maybe multiple, very imperfect baseball teams are going to make the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
The Diamondbacks benefited from that in 2023. You could make the argument they weren't a playoff team. They won 83 games in 2023. They were a couple games away from winning the whole thing. Imperfect teams are going to make it. This team is the definition of imperfect right now. So enjoy it while you can.
Just roll with it.
They've opened the window for fans of teams that necessarily aren't having the greatest years to stay engaged and interested, and that's a good thing. And it may be nothing more than that. We might have a completely different tone on Monday morning if things don't go well in
It's
Denver.
not going to take a lot to change the mood the other way again.
Listen, this is the thinnest of margins. This is the thinnest of dreams. But after watching that ninth inning yesterday, I'm buying it temporarily. Why not? What else do we have to do?
Really nothing.
That's a really good point.
By the way, Diamondbacks, Rockies 4 games, Cardinals, Broncos preseason. It's a full-on Valley of the Sun, Mile High City war.
Wow, that's right. Check that out.
It'd be better, I guess.
But again, you bring up an interesting thing. It's so now they're going into a series where there's expectations. So now that word has come back into the equation, and that's not exactly the realm in which they succeed.
No, it has not been a strength, meeting or exceeding expectations this year. But yeah, I'm with you.
All right,
let's enjoy it while we can.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marte. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.